Welcome to the Search for Wellness podcast, where we embark on inspiring conversations to explore the many facets of health and well-being. I'm your host, Pooja, a certified fitness instructor, the co-owner of Beyond Body Fitness Studios. I'm also a qualified health coach, breath coach, and proud to say, a cancer coach. My personal journey towards wellness took a profound turn when I faced a cancer diagnosis 2 years ago. Despite leading a relatively healthy lifestyle, I realized that my understanding of well-being was limited at that time. This unexpected challenge ignited my quest for knowledge and a deep desire to restore balance and harmony into my body and life. Now, I'm here to share the wisdom and insights I've gained, because what's the point of all this knowledge if I can't share it? In today's fast-paced and stressful world, prioritizing our physical, mental, and emotional well-being is more critical than ever. This podcast aims to delve into a wide range of wellness aspects, from longevity, fitness, and supplements, to alternative practices like homeopathy, acupuncture, and sound therapy, as well as nutrition, diet, and innovative therapies. Through this platform, I'm committed to helping you make simple and sustainable changes that seamlessly fit into your daily life, empowering you to live a happy, healthy, and fulfilling life. Let's embark on this inspiring journey together and meet our special guest today. So today, guys, I am introducing a very special person, introducing the remarkable Dr. Kalpana Karia, my queen and the woman to whom I owe everything. She has not only given me life, but has also shaped me and molded me into the person I am today. Having taught yoga in Kenya since 1980, and some of you may remember her classes on VOK, Voice of Kenya, she has been inspiring countless individuals, including myself, with her teachings. Through her guidance, I discovered the transformative power of yoga, a practice that has become a cornerstone of my life. Dr. Karia is not just a mother to me, but also a friend and a pillar of support to many others. Her extensive knowledge of yoga and breathwork makes her a true role model, constantly inspiring those around her. I consider myself incredibly fortunate to have a mother like her, and I'm excited for her to share her wisdom with all of you today. Hi, Mom.
Hello.
Welcome.
Welcome. Namaste.
Namaste. I would also like to share with the listeners and the viewers that my mom actually has even written 3 books. She is honestly one of my biggest inspirations, and the woman who is the reason why I am even have the guts and the courage to sit here and talk in front of all of you today. So what better than to have her here as one of my guests on my podcast. So Mom, thank you so much for honoring us with your lovely presence.
Thank you for having me on your podcast. All your podcasts have been so wonderful.
Thanks, Mom. So let's talk about your journey to yoga and what made you want to study yoga.
Since I was 9 years old, 8, 9, as a kid, I used to see my father wake up in the morning, do headstand, do breath workouts. Because I'm always an early riser, I prefer studying in the morning. So during exams time, I used to wake up at 4 and see Dad doing this. So I said, Bapuji, what are you doing? And he used to say that, yeah, yoga, but it's okay. Because none of my other kids were interested. And I was the second youngest sibling. So he said, I'm doing yoga. I said, can you teach me? And he says, the rest of the kids, nobody wants to know. Are you sure you want to learn about it? I said, yes. So he said, then you have to wake up half an hour before your study time. I said, it's fine. So I used to wake up more earlier, and he started teaching me. Then in the evenings, every evening he used to go, we live by the lake. He used to go to Hippo Point. There's a stone he used to sit on and do his breath workouts, and and he used to make me sit next to him and teach me. If I was not ready on time, he used to just leave me, and I was just crying, Dad, please wait, but no. And he used to be very strict, but a strict teacher, but excellent teacher. And that's how my journey started. And then when I went to England, so he was my initial guru. And then when I went to England to study,
What did you study?
Radiography, radiotherapy, ultrasonics, everything I studied, in Kingston Hospital. So I was studying in Kingston Hospital, and what happened is that I used to see this in 1974. Years ago, yoga was not that famous. So I used to see this science yoga, and there's only two main teachers, Richard Hittleman and Lynn Marshall. If you Google, you can find out that. So I used to go to their classes, and this Lynn Marshall was very good. And even before she would speak, I'd start doing it. And then, always then she started giving me more preference, and she started making me sit in front, and she thought maybe I knew more, and then she started asking me questions. So it was a good interaction. And then similar situation with Richard Hittleman as well. And it was very nice, that interaction, and I learned from them, they learned from me, and we were during my evening hours. And at one point, because I couldn't afford it, I had low budget because I had to pay my fees and I used to work Saturdays. So sometimes I couldn't afford, and she used to call me and say, I can't afford today's class. She said, no, just come, it's okay. So which was nice. So anyway, that was my learning there. And as soon as I finished, I asked my dad, can I go to Rishikesh and go and learn more? So I went to Shivananda Ashram and stayed with Swami Shivananda, Swami Krishnamurti. Learned a lot. Krishnamurti, I remember very well that I was, wearing a tracksuit, and I was sitting right at the back as soon as I walked in, and there were so many students, mostly Westerners, and he looked at the door and said, hey, you there? And I didn't know he was talking to me, but I looked around and said, hey, you there, can you come in front? And he called me in front and started asking me where I was from. And I said, this is Kenya, I thought you were Indian. I said, no, we are Indian from Kenya. And so then he started taking very keen interest in me, and he started teaching me a lot. And so then there's Bhupendra Brahmachari. Then I went to Delhi. After I got married, again, I never stopped learning. I feel yoga is not, you do a 200-hour course, a teacher's training course, and you stop there, or 300-hour or 500-hour. No. When I see that, I feel no. Because yoga is a way of life, and it's an ongoing learning process. You never stop learning. Till today, I feel I'm still not even 10-20% learning more and more and more. Every time, even in England, I met B.K.S. Iyengarji and went to his, and had good interactions with him as well. And so whichever guru I heard is around, because at that time there were limited gurus coming, to England, and it was just getting into it in the 1970s. The Beatles got into it as well, So I used to just rush and go to the classes and go for the, and somehow or the other, my little savings was always for something for yoga even. So it was really, that's how, learning from different masters. B.K.S. Iyengarji had totally different concept of teaching, because it's more props. And Shivananda, Swami Shivananda, no props. So, it was such a great thing, but I wanted to learn everything from everyone, so we come to some conclusion. And that's how my journey started, and
And now you are here today. And you know what, you're so right, is that you are always learning. You can never stop learning. You can never become a genius in anything. No. You have to keep learning. And that is one thing I've always learned from you growing up. And you're so humble in that way, that you're still like, I'll give an example to everyone, is that when I said I was going to go to Mexico to Dr. Joe's meditation retreat, I didn't even think of asking you, because I just assumed you'd be like, oh, please, I know all of that, I don't need to, whatever. And I didn't even think of asking you, and I think you weren't even around. And I asked my sister, and I said to Nishma, I said, why don't you come with me to Mexico? And then we booked our flight, we booked our ticket. We got on it, and we booked and stuff, and obviously it got sold out overnight. And then the next day, I think you were in India or something, and we called you and we told you, and you were like, and me? What about me? And you were like, I want to come. No, I want to learn. I'm like, but Mom, you know all of this stuff. Why would you want to? And you were like, no, there might be something I don't know, and there's something I might learn from him. So no, I want to come. And then you came with us. You didn't have a ticket. You manifested it. You said, I closed my eyes and I manifested myself being there with you guys in that room doing all the meditations, and you came and you learned so much from him also, and you found him so amazing, and you were so humble about all of this, even though you already had all the knowledge that he had, but you still came to learn more, which is amazing. And that's what I feel like I learned from you all the time. So many people talk about, breath and breath workshop and stuff. And I know at the moment, ever since COVID hit, is when you've always been into your breathing, you've always been into all of that. But I feel like during COVID is when you really took it up a notch. You really learned a lot more, and you went more into depth when it comes to breathing and breath work, and you started doing these breath workshops. You started teaching people about all of that. So that's why I wanted you here today, is to talk specifically about our breath, about how we can utilize the power of our breath, how we can breathe correctly, because most of the time we're not even breathing correctly.
That's true. Now, again, I'll go back to my journey, okay? As you heard, been through so many, many, many gurus, right? Many. And every time I was learning something from them, I felt, this is right, this is right, this is right. And then once, one of my students gave me this book. It's Total Health Through Rhythmic Breathing by Karia. And she said that she doesn't know English. She's from Gujarat. And she said, I got this book, maybe it'll help you teach. Mm-hmm. So at that time I didn't have much idea, but I was even always, reading and teaching. That time there was no YouTube and no social media.
Yeah.
So reading more and more and more. So I read this book, and whatever I understood a little bit, I tried to teach it at that time. But then I realized, and then when I went to India and I met, Karia had already left the planet, 1994, when he was 74 years old, but then his disciples, and then I started learning more and more and met a few of his. And that's then when first time I heard that music, and first time this is it. I just felt this is it now, after doing research since I was 9 years old, I would say, in search of the truth, in search of that spiritual breathing. I would say this is spiritual breathing. Because when we're born, first is the first breath. When we die, what do? Check the breath, he's gone. They don't check anything else but the breath first, and then, right? So, what Karia taught is not just an exercise. It's not a pranayama. It's called 3SRB, 3-step rhythmic breathing, TVR. The technique, the volume, and the rhythm.
You see TVR, so technique, volume of the breathing, and the rhythm of the breathing. Okay.
Correct. Why TVR? You see, the whole universe breathes with this TVR. The whole universe has this technique. Even the plants, the animals, the universe, the planets, everything, even the sky, the sun, moon, everything is breathing with this 3-step rhythmic breathing. When God sent us here, He sent us with a package of this correct breathing. So when you watch your baby, right, it's breathing what? Initially, it is 36 breaths per minute, right? The technique is that the chest and abdomen both moving in harmony together. So there shouldn't be not even a millimeter gap. The chest, now where are you breathing from? Can you just tell me?
Right now?
Yeah.
Both.
Yeah, because you know it, okay.
But with me, I know it. So it's
for the audience, check yourself.
At this moment.
Where are you breathing from this moment?
Place your right hand on your heart.
Doesn't matter which hand.
Okay. And left hand on your abdomen.
Yeah. Whichever hand, just put a hand and check. Or both the hands, and check. Check yourself. Just normal. Don't try to be too conscious about it. Normal. Just your normal breathing. Don't even breathe deeply. No deep breathing. Just normal. 90% or 99.9% people breathe from the
abdomen.
Abdomen. And what happens here is our prana. We have to, the breath is there. Actually, I'm not going to go into the detail, but there are 5 types of breath, right? Pran, apan, saman, udan, vayam. I'm not going to go into the detail of that. But the prana, we call it the prana. What is prana? Prana is the life force.
The chi.
The chi. So we have to, the breath is there, the air is there. We have to extract prana from our, from the breath, from the air, which is called the air food. We have 3 types of food even. We are always concerned about one type of food, and that is the food we eat.
The physical.
But there is, do you know about the 3 types of food?
The physical, the mental, and the emotional, isn't it?
No.
Okay.
Sorry. It's the physical, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, the food we eat, then the breath food and the impression food. We're all the time taking impression food from our eyes. That is impression food.
Interesting.
It's the food for the thought. Then the
food for the thought. Yeah, exactly. The term food for the thought.
That's impression food. And the breath food, which we breathe. How are we breathing? The breath food is so important, right? Just the normal food is there. You can be a vegan, you can be anything, but if you're not, your breath food and your impression food is wrong, impression food can bring you stress, impression food can relax your mind. Correct? You can be watching a nice painting or a plant and be meditating on it, and that's your impression food. You're taking a positive impression. But when you're watching, a fighting movie or a horror movie, you're taking all the negative impressions in your body, and that's impression food, and that also causes your digestion and stress and all that.
It can put your body into that stress response,
exactly.
even though you're not in the fight, but your body feels like it's in the fight.
Yeah.
Right?
So there's 3 types of food is so important. So now today we'll be talking about the breath food, right? You already covered normal food and the other. So the breath food is 3 steps. So when from 1 to 9 months, when you watch a baby is using the lungs and the abdomen both. And it goes 1, 2, 3 inhalation, 3 seconds inhalation, 2 seconds exhalation. It's a bit faster. Then from 9 to 18 months, it goes to 18 breaths per minute.
9 to 18 months.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. We'll come to the music later on. 1, 2,
and we need to
3.
come to why we don't have 4 there either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
5, 6. And then from 9 to 27 months, or the rest of the life, you're supposed to do 12 breaths per minute. That's what we all are supposed to do, 12 breaths per minute. Technique, chest and abdomen, both moving in harmony, in rhythm. That's the technique. Volume should be equal in the chest and in the abdomen. You should not have more air here and less air. Remember, it is not a pranayam. It is not a yoga exercise. It's not a pranayam exercise.
It's your daily breath.
It is the way of breathing.
So
total breath through rhythmic breathing. Okay. So total health, right? Because that's how you will be extracting prana. From then you don't even need the physical food much. Because the air is converted into prana, the prana shakti which you need. Total energy, the chi which you need. And that breath, and then when you come to 12 breaths per minute, and that's, if you see a baby after 9, you'll see 12 breaths per minute. Just if you see a dog, you'll see 12 breaths per minute. A dog will be 36 breaths per minute. Sometimes it's quiet, it's 8 breaths. So you see the animal kingdom even, they are breathing in harmony, they are breathing in technique, volume, it is equal. Right dot on TVR. Right? You go near a plant also has that breathing. So if we want to align ourselves with the universe, now supposing if I want to talk to you, or if I want to talk to, someone in Kisumu or I dial the correct number. It's on the number, remember, number. Then I get the right person. If I dial the wrong number, it'll be wrong number, correct? So, if you are dialing 12 breaths per minute, you are in synchronization with the universe and you're connected straight away. So you can, hello, the universe will listen to you.
And you're in balance.
You are in balance with the universe. You're in tune with the universe. You're in, so straight away that universal subconscious power, which we call the USB, will be listening to you. Straight away that connection happens. So when you start, first Tavariachi taught us that first you just do 5 minutes for the first week. That's it. Then 10 minutes for the second week.
And you do these breaths to a certain type of music, which we're going to play at the end, and we're going to do a little demo at the end.
Yes.
But why do we miss 4?
Okay, so that music goes 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. 1. So it's 1, 2, 3. That's inhalation. 5, 6 exhalation. There is no holding of the breath. But that number 4 is called Keval Kumbhak. Not using very high this technology, but Kumbhak. Now you see we have three aspects of breathing in Sanskrit: Purak, Kumbhak, and Richak. Purak is inhalation. Kumbhak is exhalation. Richak is, Kumbhak is holding the breath. Richak is exhalation. And Keval Kumbhak is holding on exhalation. Keval Kumbhak is always very, very minute, which straight away hits your Kundalini Shakti, which makes your blood pressure 0. At that point, blood pressure goes 0. And even especially later on, we'll talk about the golden nugget, which we do. And at that, the 40 seconds, the blood pressure goes 0 and you can feel it in your body. So that is number 4. It's very minute second, 0.0.
So that's why it's not counted.
But that's why it's not counted.
Okay.
But it's there. And
by the time you say 4, it's too late.
It's
right?
too late. Yeah.
Okay.
So and that's what arouses your inner prana. And that's why you don't say number 4. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. Inhale, 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 exhale, exhale. That's the ratio, the rhythm of the breathing.
So why is it that not many people have this knowledge? I don't understand why. Like, I only know you who has this knowledge, and knowledge is power. Why is it that not enough people have this information?
This is a very secret knowledge, one thing. It is in Patanjali Yoga Sutra. So many times, I think everybody knows about yoga, Patanjali Yoga Sutras.
What is Patanjali Yoga Sutras?
Patanjali Yoga Sutra is the main master book of all the yogis in the universe, you can say. It's a universal. Patanjali himself
Master
says,
of all the...
Yeah, if I didn't bring the book here, but the Patanjali, if you even Google Patanjali.
So what does it have in it, this book?
Everything to do with yoga, everything to do with breathing, yoga.
Like...
And it's not even yoga, it's yog.
Yog.
Yog means to link.
Okay.
But ultimately, you can only link through your breath. When your breath becomes 0, you can link. Then your breath goes into that level 4. You straight away, when you leave your body, it teaches you conscious sleep. It teaches you conscious death, ultimately. Because what are we always afraid of in life?
Death.
That's the biggest fear.
Yeah.
But then, when you go into conscious death, it's the biggest joy you get out of it. And by this breath, you can connect your astral body, which is a bit high level. But once you start, you can meditate anytime. So as I was saying, the timing, let me come back to, first week, you'll only do 5 minutes a day. Second week, 10 minutes. Third week, 15 minutes, 20. So gradually climb the steps. You cannot say all day, till you come all day. At night, you can put the music. You put one hand here, and you start. 8 hours of your sleep are totally gone into, and then the pranic body will take over, the pranic shakti, the prana shakti, the chi will take over, and you will be breathing whole night. As soon as you start and you fall asleep with that music, your whole connection will be connected to the universe. Even when you have the dreams, you will realize those dreams. You will, know that the dreams have this meaning, and everything will be connected. Everything will be connected.
So basically, you live with a bit more awareness.
Awareness. And then during the daytime, when you get time, you start. And then it brings more awareness, because you have to breathe correctly. I think this is the thing which should be taught in schools to children first, because what dreads me is everybody's talking about pranayams, everybody's talking about all sorts of pranayam exercise, which is good, great to do.
But you can't do pranayam 24/7.
24/7. This is 24/7 meditation, 24/7 pranayam, 24/7 yoga, 24/7 you are linked with the universal power. And it gives you so much Shakti and power. So much Shakti and power. And these are the secrets between the sutras. Sutra means texts, right? So Patanjali Yoga Sutra has 295 texts. Every text, every sutra, Sage Patanjali was the greatest master. The original master of yoga is Sage Patanjali, Maharishi Patanjali. And then he wrote all these 395 texts. And that's why it's called Patanjali Yoga Sutra. Patanjali Sage, Patanjali Yoga to link. And sutras are sutra means texts.
Text.
Each and every text has a deeper meaning. And sometimes when you have a lawyer's notice or something and you don't read in between lines, they write something which they want to catch you in, even if there's any, very, very big contracts you're signing, they write in very, very small handwriting. Correct?
Yeah.
So this is...
Read the fine lines.
Read the fine lines. In between lines, if you read and understand. Because...
Then you won't make those mistakes again.
You won't make those mistakes again. You just learn the correct way of breathing. Everything will fall into place.
Okay, but why is that being kept such a big secret?
Because it was not kept secret, but it's people's understanding.
It's like, I'm breathing, so what's the problem?
Yeah, what's the problem? Why should I breathe?
Why do I have to learn how to breathe? I'm breathing. What's the problem?
Exactly.
But are you really breathing? Yeah?
Correct. And that's why. And it's not kept secret, but the understanding is not there.
It's the information. The information is basically there, but not everyone will get it. Not everyone will understand it.
Correct. You see, people have a wrong concept of yoga. The minute you hear the word yoga, I can't do yoga because I cannot stand on my head and I cannot do those splits and I cannot take my leg back and put that, but the other day Sadhguru's class is very nice what yoga is. Here's a little clip that yoga is not circus. Even the circus people do better yoga than you all. He said they can twist their body into any.
That is not yoga,
But that's not yoga. Yoga is yoga is to connect. And connect your breath first before you connect your asanas. The minute you do this, all our asanas on Facebook, you took every day when we have the classes, are all on. Even if you are doing the posture 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, you do your postures with that breath. So that you're teaching for a couple of hours, you've already tuned. And those couple of hours will carry on. Let that be your first mantra, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. And then you can relate to any other mantras you can, with the breathing.
Yeah.
Even Om chanting has to be done with this. Gayatri mantra is already with the 3-step rhythmic breathing.
Okay, is it?
It's Om Bhuvasvaha Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhyo Yo Nah Prachodyatam. It's 1, 2, 3. That's Om Bhuvasvaha. Tat Savitur Varenyam. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, right? Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhyo Yo Nah Prachodyatam. We have the Gayatri mantra as well, set with the music of the 3-step rhythmic breathing. We have Radha Krishna, we have Jesus, Mary, So it's not.
And obviously, once you get used to breathing the right way, you don't need the music then.
You don't need the music.
Because then your body is
Whatever your belief is, you can fit in those mantras because people like doing things with mantra. But otherwise, even if your mantra is just 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, it's perfect. As long as your breath is connected, all your mantras will dissolve inside.
Exactly. It's training the mind to connect with the breath in the right way. It takes 21 days to train the mind or to change any habit. So you can change your breathing and breathe well and correctly within 21 days.
Exactly.
So when it comes to this breathing technique, the 3SRB, is there any science or anything that can back it up? Because obviously these days everyone likes something backed up by proof, by evidence, not just by belief, right?
Definitely, it does, and it is a very, very strong backup is there, a scientific research backup, which is everybody must have heard of the great Italian mathematician Fibonacci, and the Fibonacci sequence, and the golden spiral, of course, the art of Mona Lisa, the Apple, logo, all that is done under the Fibonacci sequence and the golden spiral. Do you know about that?
Yeah,
Or
of course I do, because when I've obviously heard you many times explain it to me and try to tell it to me, and then obviously I was like, yeah, okay, whatever. Everything in nature is created through the Fibonacci sequence and the ratios. Every single thing in nature comes from it, from a pine cone to an apple, to even a leaf on a tree, even a shell, even our bodies, even our hands, our arms, our ears. And obviously never paid attention to you. And then we went to Mexico and we were sitting there, and then Dr. Joe starts talking about the Fibonacci sequence and how our breath, and even he spoke about the fact that our breath is also intertwined with the Fibonacci sequence, and the way we are created is through that also, and we need to learn how to connect to the right breathing and the source through that breathing to create the right perfect alignment for our meditation. And it was so funny because as soon as he finished that lecture that day, we left the ballroom, and you looked at us and you looked at me and Nishma and you were like, I told you.
Yeah, you never,
But obviously it's always like that, right?
Yeah. In Gujarati it says, Ghar ki murgi dal barabar.
That's not Gujarati, that's Hindi.
Oh, yeah, in Hindi. So whatever is in the house, you take it too much for granted.
Exactly.
Like even if you get a chicken, you feel it's I mean, not talking
Yeah.
about that,
Yeah.
it's just normal. That's another slang saying, but it's true.
Yeah. So tell us a bit more.
Another thing is parki makan. When you want to pierce the ears of a child, the mother cannot do it. The other mother, somebody else
has to do it.
So anyway, now let me talk about Fibonacci sequence. It goes to 1 plus 0 is 1, then 1 plus 2 is 2. I'm not going to go too much into mathematics. Then you bring that 2 down and you do 2 plus 1 is, So keep on bringing each and every figure down, and ultimately you go down, 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 and ultimately when you divide it with a ratio, right, you can get the ratio of 1 is to 1.1618. And that's exactly, like I'm just taking a vivid example, the whole body is designed with the Fibonacci sequence. If you take your arm, this is 1, and then you take this much arm, 1.1618. You take your ears, every aspect of your ears with the golden spiral. And that's how the whole golden spiral is, and the sun is here, and all the planets are not going around. In the science, you say, all the planets are going around. They're not going around the sun. They're going in a golden spiral.
Yeah, they don't go round in a circle. They actually go like in a spiral. You're right.
Exactly.
Yeah, because they overlap and everything. Right.
So this is all, and the whole golden spiral is connected with the Fibonacci mathematics. 1 is to 1.618.
So the ratio.
All body, everything.
And your breath too.
Exactly. So even pine cones, even this flower here, I'll take this flower. If you really see, each and every leaf is on that Fibonacci sequence and the golden spiral. So pine cones, everything you name it, and it's there. So is our breath. How is that? So it takes how many seconds to breathe in? I said 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, correct?
Yes.
Right? So the golden ratio is A plus B over A. Right, is equal to the golden spiral, golden ratio. That's the golden ratio. So in the 3-step rhythmic breathing, the TVR, the technique, volume, and rhythm, the breath inhalation is A, right? The breath out exhalation is, so breath A is 3 seconds. Breath out is 2 seconds, right? And then you divide it by the breath in again. The breath in again is again 3 seconds, correct? So how it comes? So 3 plus 2 is 5. Divide by 3. What do you get? 5 divided by 3? 1.6166666. So to the nearest 1.618 is to the nearest, like, when you go. So this is how our breath is also in the same ratio as our body is designed, as big architects, the architectural, this everything, even every plant. You see this plant, and if you really see 1.168, everything around you is on the Fibonacci sequence and the golden spiral. Even your chakras, people feel, chakras.
They don't go around.
No, they go in a Fibonacci sequence and they go this way. They don't, and that's another topic anyway. I don't want to know that topic here. But that is how everything is created. So you're basically, and then this apple sign. Steve Jobs didn't just eat an apple and left an apple down and everybody and named it. No. Why it became so famous? Because he went to some real swamis, and I don't even know the name of the swamis he went to. He did this logo according to the Fibonacci sequence of the golden spiral. Similarly with the Mona Lisa painting. If you really look at Mona Lisa painting, it's all done with the Fibonacci. So whatever success we have, now it's not just success in our health, not just spiritual success,
even
but
physical
everybody
success.
wants, of course, physical success. You want monetary success. You want your, everything, your studies, social, emotional, physical, mental, relations. Every success depends on this ratio. And if you are in synchronization with this breath and certain breathing exercises on this, with the, it's called the refining breath, it's called the phase exercises. So there are 3-4 aspects of the TVR breathing. First is just 24-hour TVR breathing, and then there are certain exercises with the TVR breathing. If you do, you can see miracles in your life.
No, and I know that because obviously I can give this example of my own self. Is when I got unwell and when I was recovering after my surgery and after everything that I'd been through, you couldn't come with me to London. You couldn't come and stay with me there. So as soon as, because obviously of COVID and stuff, as soon as I came back, you came to Nairobi immediately, and you were like, you spent, I think, 2 weeks here, and I don't think you've ever spent 2 weeks with me like that. Every single day, all you did was teach me this refining exercises, and every day we were doing it again. You were like, no, you're not doing it correctly. Do it again. You even got the expert, Janish, to come all the way from India specifically to come and teach me how to do these exercises. And ever since then, I have tried, I did it daily for a while, and now I try to do it as often as I can. Maybe not as often as I should. And it helped me immensely. It changed my life. It made huge differences and it impacted me in such a way that this is why I wanted you here today, because I wanted you to share that with everybody. And that all comes from this. So that is like secondary. This is first, we need to first correct our breathing, and then we go into the refining exercises. But I can obviously explain that in that refining exercises, what you're talking about, that miracles, I experienced them. Obviously didn't experience them immediately, but then I experienced those amazing feelings of where you don't care who you are anymore. You don't care where you're from anymore. You don't care what you are. You're just this being. You just become this being, and everything just feels so perfect. And you're just so in love and awe of everything.
The source.
The source.
Energy.
The source
of
energy.
Source
yeah.
You. And even during COVID.
Yeah, actually, how many people did you help during COVID?
Yeah, it's not me, it's the masters.
No, but still, because you're like the medium.
But of course, many people in hospitals and this, that, online, come on, please do this, please do this. I used to keep on giving Zoom lessons, and And it helped so many people, because the minute you are in alignment with your breath, it was curing. Because you see, why do you get diseases? Because your breath is not in alignment. So it is more tamasic. Your breath becomes more tamasic.
Tamasic is
Tamasic is the
acidic,
mode of ignorance. Yeah.
also.
There are three modes. It's okay if you can, mode of goodness, mode of passion.
I love how
and
you're
mode of-
asking me if it's okay.
yeah, because mode of goodness, mode of passion, mode of ignorance.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to use very high Sanskrit technology.
Terminology,
terminologies
right.
to use, but it's just simple. So these three modes, our whole day revolves around these three modes of material nature. But with the three-step rhythmic breathing, in whatever we're doing, it keeps us in a mode of goodness. It keeps us in that inner anand.
Yeah,
We say,
peace of heart.
in that the real core. What is our purpose in life? Our purpose in life is to be happy, and where is happiness? Can I ask you a question? Where is happiness?
Within you.
Yeah, within
and
you.
all around you.
All around you, within you. And
it comes from within. It comes from all around you.
yes,
and you're so funny. You're in present moment. You're
Exactly.
interrogating me. I feel like I feel like that 8-year-old kid again. And when I would come home and you'd be like, homework, answer the question. And you're looking at me like that right now. I'm feeling like pressured a little bit.
Present moment.
Yes.
Present is a present, right? You say, it's this one's birthday. What present shall I give him?
Yeah.
Right. So that's why you say it's called a present moment, where our life is like a pendulum, tap, tap, tap.
We're always in the past, always in the future.
Past, future.
Never in the
this one
present.
did this to me. Why this? This one did that to me. Why that? You were not born. You were born with your breath. Connect your breath. The minute you connect your breath, automatically your auras will change. Your frequency will change, because you will resonate at a different frequency. The minute you walk in, you will know. People will look at you, because that it's not you, your face, your beauty attracting them. No. This time it's not your age,
your
even if you're an
energy.
old woman. It's your energy. People will come and say hello to you. People will come and say, why? We want to talk to you, because that frequency which you resonate at with the 12-step rhythmic, 3-step rhythmic breathing, the 12 steps, the TVR, because you're directly connected with the universe. So they are seeing you as a media of the universe. And that's why you'll start connecting with people, you'll start resonating with nature, you'll start resonating with everything. And it's such a wonderful feeling. Like, as I said, throughout my life, 68 years, I was 8 years old when my dad started teaching me. 60 years. And research, but ultimately this is the essence. You can have so many plants, lavender plants, but then when you get the essence, just one drop can,
transform.
Amazing. And this is the greatest transformation. And I really feel you start with 3-step rhythmic breathing, you go into the refining, then from refining, the third stage is the phase exercise, when you start rotating your chakras with you start with 12 steps, 36 steps.
But you have to commit to it. This is the other thing.
No, another thing he says in the book, 7 minus 1 is 0. 30 minus 1, 0. 365 minus 1, 0. Now, what do you mean by that?
I don't know. I have no idea. Stop asking me so many questions.
Like a student.
Yeah.
Come on. Huh?
I don't know.
You miss out one day of your rhythmic breathing.
Back to zero.
Back to zero.
So am I back to zero because I don't do it daily anymore? Oh gosh.
Yes.
All
You miss out one day in the month, 0. You miss out. Yeah, he's given a whole chart about how and when. That's Tavariyaji. That's great. So we say he's this incarnation of Saint Patanjali. I don't know, but he's just great. What knowledge is given. And another thing I want to ask, I am going back to one of your questions, which you said before, it just occurred to me. You said, why don't people know about it much and why is it so secretive? Because it's free. He said he never sold his book. He never charged a penny. And we don't. I don't either.
It's so true. When you put
all
a
my
price on
life,
something.
we've done voluntary work.
Yeah.
Right? Yoga is not something, because it's not your own. If I had my own thing, my own phone, I would like to sell it, but because I paid for it. but I've not paid for this knowledge. So I have to give it free. It is free. And whatever is free in this world, let me tell you, people don't appreciate it. The higher the price, people are always more.
Yeah, because there's always a value of it's human nature though, that if something is expensive or has a markup or a value put on it, you know, the word value is like, if I myself have no value unless there is a price tag on me, right? But I'm a human being, I'm a living being, I'm a person, but I can't put a price tag on myself, obviously. But when it comes to materialistic things, the minute you go into the garden and you take that flower, like you gave the example of the flower, and you look at, you don't appreciate, you look at it, yeah, you'll keep it. But then if you went to the supermarket and you bought a bouquet of flowers, and because they were arranged nicely and you paid an amount for it, a value for it, it's like, wow, look, my husband bought me these flowers. But if my husband went in the garden and plucked me this flower and gave it to me, what are you doing? You can't buy me some flowers, right? It's that. It's the value, right? It's the value that people...
The three things we need in life. What are the three main things for survival?
What do we need in life? Well, food, water, and breath.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Food, water, breath. We pay for our food. Okay. We pay for our water as well. The water bill, even if you're drinking, you buy water.
Yeah.
But do you pay for your breath?
It's the most important.
And the most important.
30 days you can go without food. You can go 3 days without water, but you can't even go a minute without your breath.
Correct.
And it's the most important.
Exactly.
So why not learn how to breathe correctly?
Exactly. Because you see, you don't pay for it. So it's not appreciated.
I don't pay for it. And you even take it for granted that you're breathing. Yeah, I'm breathing.
Yeah, I'm breathing. They don't realize that, oh, now my so-and-so is not breathing anymore. He's dead. And we cry, right? It's not, so you don't say he's not eating anymore, he's dead. You don't say he's not drinking anymore, he's dead.
He's not breathing. Breathing, yeah.
Yeah, the first breath. So this is so important. And he says total health through rhythmic breathing. Total health. Complete health.
I think after some time, we will be doing a workshop in the studio. And I'm hoping that a lot of people come for it so that they can learn the refining exercises. Then maybe we'll continue doing quite a few of these workshops so that you can actually help people in person understand it. But I think this podcast will help people a lot in the sense that they first need to understand their breathing. So we've given them the starting point. And then with the workshops, we can help more people, whoever wants to be helped. I want to move into talking to you a little bit more about something else. When you change one man's life, you know that you have succeeded. However, you have changed many people's lives. With your Little Gokul Education Center for Street Children, which you started when I was a child myself, and I used to help you grow that home. And then you also have the Goshala. You also teach almost 3 to 4 times a week online classes on your Facebook, on your Zoom, for free. You don't charge nothing for these classes. You give lectures about about the right breathing, about all of this stuff. You help people in need all the time. Why do you do so much so selflessly? It's very hard to find people who do what you do so selflessly. And many times I've told you this, I'll be very honest, many times, Mom, you should charge for your classes. That's still your time. That is still your, and you never charge. You always do everything for free, selflessly.
Because whatever I'm doing is not mine. As I said, if I sold this phone, I'd charge for it, maybe. But if we can't sell knowledge. Knowledge is not ours. Ma Saraswati Devi, the divine Shakti is giving us that knowledge. So sharing is caring. And one main thing, whatever we share, we get more.
Yeah, when we give,
we get more out of it. And one thing my dad always told me, my dad was a great yogi. He says, always keep your hand up, not down.
Always keep giving.
Giving, not taking, right? Or whatever you take, give it back. He always used to do this action when we were children. And he says, fast, and he used to make us. So And there's more pleasure in giving than receiving.
Oh, for sure.
Honestly, the more you give unconditionally, the inner pleasure, I said the 5 sheets, the Anandmay Kosh, the inner heart, the connection is so divine that nothing material in this world can give that. What pleasure you get, the inner pleasure, inner satisfaction. And that even should be unconditional. As I said, present moment, do it, forget about it. We were talking about the present moment, right? So whatever you do it in the present moment, not expectation.
Not expecting something in return.
I did this for her. I went and gave a class, and now they didn't even don't expect an appreciation. I didn't have that many, this thing, I didn't have that, because let me give you a vivid example. Shri Prabhupada used to say that where there's a diamond, real diamonds are sold, very few people will go there, right? But when there's artificial jewelry, cheap artificial jewelry, flocks and flocks and flocks of people will be buying it. So this thing is very expensive, very, very divine, very secretive, as we've all talked about why. So whoever comes, whoever is meant to be, will get it.
And this knowledge is not for everybody. And for who it is, they will find it. And the universe will provide it to them.
Exactly.
And they will utilize it.
Exactly. That's true.
Well, now people can see where I learn everything from and who I get all my guidance.
It's your endeavor more,
No, but you do know that. And now, and you'll see many people after this episode will be like, oh, now we see where you get your spark from.
It's not. It's the divine energies. God is there.
So we're going to finish off. I just wanted to ask you a few more questions, Mom. If you had one wish, what would it be and why? Sounds like a very beauty pageant question, but yeah.
Oh my God, if I had one wish, I wish everyone would be doing the 3-step rhythmic breathing and breathing in the universe, connecting themselves, and everyone's health is okay, no suffering anywhere.
Yeah. That's good. And what does wellness mean to you?
Wellness means inner wellness more than external. External, you can have many things, but that inner wellness is to connect to the inner source which lies within you. And when you connect to that inner source, everything will project around you. So, and it will bring wellness in your mind, body, and show, we have in your emotional state of mind, because wellness is in 3 categories. Do you mean emotional wellness, physical wellness, or mental wellness, right? So it's more to do with the holistic way of controlling the emotions, emotional wellness, mental wellness, and physical wellness.
And I think I've done that. I think I've covered all those in this podcast, where we've covered the physical, the emotional, and the mental.
Yes.
I think I've managed to do that.
In the present moment.
Always being in the present moment.
A little bit more about the present moment, because I also follow Tabariaji's, not guru, but you can say they were together, is Bhagavad Shri Brahmadan Babaji, who's every day we have the Bhagavad Gita translations. And the only ultimate thing he says is the gist of the Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita has also 12 types of yoga, right? Is to be in the present moment. And how can we be in the present moment? Right? Through our breath, through this rhythmic breathing. Because if I'm aware of my 12 breath, right, my mind will not keep on wandering, and I'll not be under. Depression is just a very, very low frequency state of mind, right? When people resonate at a very, very low frequency is when they get depressed, they get lonely. Because loneliness, people think loneliness is a disease, but I think loneliness is the greatest freedom. That you're free from, at that inner happiness, inner peace, which you experience in the present moment. And you can only experience it in the present moment. Past, you cannot experience. If you think of the past, you're not experiencing that inner peace. God, if you ask, where is God? You say, oh, God is in everyone's heart. Yes, okay. God is everywhere. Yes, okay. But God is in the present moment. If you are in the present moment, you are with God. Rather than your mind flickering like a pendulum, when the pendulum is stationed in one position, that's when you overcome time. We are through two time zones. The cross of Jesus Christ, right? The cross of the Christians, it means the horizontal line is our day-to-day timing. The vertical line is the linear time, and we go into that linear time zone where we are beyond time and space. When you go into your inner self, you're beyond time and space. And then, wherever you are, whichever situation you're in, even if you're in a funeral, be in the present moment and just project good vibrations, right? Rather than, oh, this only this, how am I going to live, without it, how much this thing. You're in a wedding, be in the present moment and enjoy that wedding. You go to the club, it's fine. Enjoy that present moment, being with friends and all that. But be in that. When you're with friends, bunch of friends, oh, this one, I don't like it. She did this and she did this. Why? Don't discriminate, right? Don't be judgmental to people. You came alone, you're going to go alone. Why are you being judgmental? That's not being in the present moment. Don't criticize people. You're not in the present moment. So when you're judgmental, you're criticizing people, you're not in the present moment. We say, oh, you shouldn't speak lies. You shouldn't tell this. You should, but why? Be in the present moment and all that will disappear.
So
ultimately, it all boils down to this Fibonacci sequence, and the golden spiral is to bring you into the present moment. And that's the biggest present. And that is where you will find your source. You will not find your source in the past. You will not find your source in the future. Oh, in the future, I'm going to do this, and then only I'll find my source. I'm going to go to this person, then only I'll find my source. No, that source is within you.
You can only find it now.
And through your breath, through the TVR, through this technique, the volume and the rhythm, through the 3-step rhythmic breathing, you will get it. And this is my own personal experience after 60 years of research.
Yeah. Thank you, Mom, for today. I think I've learned more than I have before from you. Finally, you had me one-on-one attention.
I always wanted her. Oh, Pooja, come on, sit here. Like, oh, no, Mom, I'm busy. I've got to do this. I'm busy. Please attend my class. Please, come on. Okay. And she does it, and she's doing some other work and to please Mom. Sometimes not. You've always been a
But thank you.
very obedient child.
Thank you. I'm very happy to be your daughter and very grateful to be your daughter.
And I'm very happy to have you as my daughter, because, what is the mother's greatest happiness? When the children prosper and the children, I saw that when Navika, your daughter, became first in the swimming, and she said, oh, I didn't even know she could swim so well, and you were like overwhelmed.
Yeah.
And whether a child is small or big or old, but a mother always is more thankful when the child
does well.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And that's what my feeling is.
Love you.
Love you as well. So now it's important for people to know how to do this breathing, and it's as TVR. The technique should be, so if I can show you, the technique should be the chest and abdomen, both together. Any hand could be on the chest and abdomen, okay? And if possible, you can touch this too, all right? And then so both out, 1, 2, 3, 3 seconds, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. And to back it up, we have a little music, which you can do it with the music. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. Inhale, 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 exhale, exhale. Inhale, 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 exhale, exhale. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. Very shallow, subtle breaths going on. The technique on 1, 2, 3, inhale, expand both chest and abdomen together. 5, 6, you exhale, contracting the chest and abdomen exactly at the same point, shouldn't even be a millimeter away. 3, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6,